here we go.
We're going to start with our Instagram submitted questions first. So we're going to start with, do we need to pay to join societies?
So, sorry, I should say start. My name's Sam. I'm the activities officer. So I look after all of our societies. So societies here at Bath, we've got a really great model. At the start of the year, you pay £3, and that gets you access to basically as many societies as you want. Now, some societies, dependent on the nature of what they do, they might have a small additional cost. If you, for example, dance, there is a small additional cost just to cover the cost of their classes and going to competitions. But overall for societies, it's a really accessible model. So you pay £3 at the start of the year, and that gets you access to as many of those different societies as you like. You could join 1, you could join 10, you could even join all 100. It's completely up to you.
All right, our next question is for our birthday boy Angus, and that is there a golf society?
Yes, so I'm Angus, I'm the sports officer.
Happy
Yes.
birthday, Angus.
Sure.
Everyone comment.
Please don't. Anyway, yes, no, there is in fact a golf society, a golf sports club, yes. We have 56 different sports, very big wide range, but yes, no, golf is actually one of our biggest growing ones, especially in the women's team. I think they grew from, I think it was 20 to about 100 members last year, which is outstanding, and we're hoping that number's only going to go up.
Awesome. Someone has asked, how will I know when sports trials are?
Good question. So, as we approach Freshers Week, all the information about the sports trials will be available on the website and social media. However, the best way to find out about the taste sessions, about joining sports, is to come to the sports fair. So on the Wednesday of Freshers Week, all of the sports will be in the Founders Hall, at a stand, ready to tell you about the sport, how to join, how to get involved, the requirements and all of that. And as part of that, they'll be able to give you all the information about their tasters, about how to join. And that is the best way to actually get to speak to the students who are running these clubs and actually find out all the information you need to know there. However, if you can't make it for whatever reason, it will be on social media, it will be on the website. So even if you miss it for whatever reason, there will at least you will be able to find the information.
Lovely. Our next question is, what is your arts offer like at Bath? Do you do plays and performances?
Absolutely. We have a really broad arts offer here at Bath. So we have 2 buildings. We have our main SU, but we also have the Edge, and in the Edge is kind of our creative hub for students. So we have 2 theatres. We've got one big one of just over 200 seats, and then another one of 90-ish seats, and then lots of different rooms from dance studios, art studios, individual music practice rooms, which you as students can book out. I said digital, yeah, but lots of art. So we have a really big arts offer, whether that's just through societies or a way doing kind of general things like weekly activities as well, all part of our arts community. And they will host a number of different shows throughout the year and performances, not just on campus, but also around in the city as well. And yeah, that really varies from kind of musical theatre shows, theatre shows, dance performances, exhibitions as well. So we have a really broad arts offer. But yeah, do check out the SU website. There's lots of information under the Edge, which is our kind of arts hub on campus. And you find everything from our societies and also our general arts offer for you as students as well.
Well, you've convinced me.
Wonderful.
See you in dance sock next year.
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
Our next question is, how difficult is it to get on a team?
Ooh, it's a very good question. I think the key point to start there is that we cater to everything from the professional, at the top of we have our professional sports programs, all the way at the other end we have completely recreational. Bath Active is our sort of free, no sign up required, turn up and play kind of set of events. So each team manages it differently. Different teams have different numbers of teams in bucks and other leagues. But the way they operate them is each club will have their own trials. So again, come to the sports fair, they'll let you know everything about that. And if competing at a competitive level is what you want, there will be opportunities for you to do so. But if you hang on, no, I'm not worried about competition, I just want to turn up, play, have a bit of fun, absolutely we can cater for that, not an issue. But yeah, it depends on the sports team, but yes, we can absolutely cater for competitive sports.
Okay, a related question. Someone's asked, what is Bucks?
Oh, good question. Good. So Bucks is the British Universities and College Sports governing body, and they essentially run. They operate the bulk of university competition across. I think it's 32 of our 56 sports are in Bucks, and that is the kind of the premier way of playing competitive sport. Lots of them do other tournaments, whether it's local ones or other governing bodies. But yeah, Bucks is. Well, once you get into the sporting environment, you might hear that a bit more. But it is essentially the core competitive governing body.
Awesome. Someone has asked, how many sports teams can I join?
How much time you got? No, so we have 56 teams, and you are welcome to join as many or as few as you like. I think it's the same as society, isn't it? In theory, you could join all 220 student groups. I don't think you'd have time, but it's possible. So no, this is the thing, right? I think my advice, genuinely, try it as much as you can. In those first few months, just try everything, give everything a go, and actually you can then decide what's right for you in terms of how many groups you want to stick with, how the timings work, but we will not limit you to how many groups you can join.
Okay, our next question is equipment extra?
Is that yes?
Yeah.
Well, so yes and no. The way our sports systems run is we try and cover as much of the logistical side of things as possible. So no, you will not need to buy your own kit. If you have your own kit for whatever sport it is, or women's societies, I guess, absolutely bring it. You're more than welcome to use it. However, the expectation is for our groups is that anyone can join without owning the kit, and so on. We can provide that. There will, however, be some sports where there will be additional costs incurred to hire the kit, especially some of the more expensive sports. But you don't need to bring it yourself. You don't need to buy it yourself. So it will be significantly cheaper than buying it or even renting it from a commercial venue. But no, so you don't need to have the stuff with you. We will provide everything you need to take part in the sport.
Awesome. Our next question is for Sam, and that is, do I have to be French to join the French Society?
No, absolutely. That's absolutely fine. You can. All of our student groups are inclusive, so you can join any of our student groups. And for our different faith and culture groups as well. For our different faith and culture group, anyone can join them. Maybe it's that you want to pick up the language, or you just want to learn something new about a different culture. There's nothing stopping you joining any of our groups, and that's the same that goes for kind of any of our societies. If we have a society, any student can join them. So there's nothing stopping you joining the French Society, even if you're not French, and that goes for all of our different groups as well.
Wonderful stuff. You've also been asked whether there is a film society.
There is a film society, so they'll do a lot of different screenings throughout the year as well. But there's lots of different general activities that lots of different societies will do. So maybe they might have a film or a media event that relates to their society, so they host those events throughout the year as well. If you're really interested in a specific society like Film Society, do check out our website. They'll have lots of information about the committee for next year, information about what their society does and kind of their plans going forward in the next year as well. All of that you can find on the SU website.
Lovely stuff. We've also been asked, what is student media?
Oh, so student media is another part of our SU groups. So student media, we have three areas. So we have campus TV, so they'll do a lot of maybe support if we've got streaming of a live event. So we have varsity, which I'll let Angus probably touch on maybe a little bit later on.
Makes sense.
So they'll be able to kind of live stream events, or they might help students if they want to do a film project for something as well. We have URB, which is University Radio Bath, which is a radio station which is based literally just underneath us downstairs in the student centre. And they'll do live radio broadcasts. They're doing a lot of work on podcasts as well, but they'll also train people up to do things like DJing as well. And we've had people that start doing DJing through URB that goes on to do it in various venues around town as well. And then also we have Bath Time, which is our student magazine, both print and digital as well. They'll go out and do stories on issues that interest them or issues that are affecting students. And all of our media groups together, they will often work in collaboration with each other on key kind of events, whether it's election periods, they'll help cover a lot of things with that as well. And during Freshers Week, you'll see them all around campus as well.
Yeah, from a sport point of view, actually, one thing we're doing this year is we're really trying to engage these campus media into sports. So we're looking at getting announcers, commentators, live streams of the games, all these different things, and all of that will be run by students. So if you want to be a commentator at one of our games, absolutely sign up. So I think this year we're really looking at how we expand these networks. And yeah, varsity included. That's a massive area where we're going to need a lot of students on board with that. So if you want to get involved, absolutely sign up.
Awesome. Our next question is there a paddle club?
Yes, there is. Yes, no, paddle is new this year. So this is the first year they've been affiliated with us. So yeah, no, we've got big plans. I think it's to be quite popular because paddle is very much an up and coming, rapidly growing sport. So yeah, they're brand new, and say they'll be at the sports fair. Come along. You can find out when they do their training times, when they do their paddle, when they do their events and so on. But yes, we do in fact have a paddle team.
Lovely stuff. We've had some people say that they're worried that nobody in their flat will want to go to the same society tasters as them.
Yeah, and that whenever any new students come to university, that is something which everyone is concerned about. However, at Bath and at any university, we really want you to find your own communities. And some of your best friends and some new people which you meet will be in these communities, whether that's a sport or a society. And when you go to a taster session, everyone in that taster session will be in the same situation as you. And we have fantastic committees that do some incredible work to try and get new students involved and engaged. So don't worry and just go for it. Just try lots of new things. University is a great time to just take on as many different experiences as you can. And here at the SU Bath, we will do whatever we can to support you. So our committees really want to give you the best experience when you join university. So really don't be afraid to go to that taster session, even if you're the only one from your flat, because you will meet some incredible people and maybe even your best friends for the rest of your time at uni.
100%, couldn't have put it better.
Our next question is, how much time would a sport take up of my week?
Ooh. I mean, how much time do you want it to take up? That's the real question. But no, so I would say if you're joining at a sort of competitive point of view, so the Bucks leagues, which is as I said, the primary competitive offer, you're looking at probably about four hours a week, I'd say on average, and it's kind of up to the team. It's kind of up to the club you join. If it's on the recreational side, though, it's literally between 0 and 100, right? Like we offer so many different recreational platforms that actually, if you wanted to do nothing but sport, you probably could do that. Obviously, that might affect your degree a bit. That's by the by. But no, if you go, hey, you know what? I've got 2 hours a week to do sport. We can cater for that. If you've got 3 hours, less than that, more than that, it's up to you, really. It's really up to you.
Wonderful stuff. Someone else has asked, are coaches students or external coaches?
Yes. No, they are. So the way we operate our coaching scheme is that, again, it's kind of up to the club, but we offer external coaches. Clubs will often get those in from paid positions, but we also have volunteer positions, and actually a lot of our students are volunteer and or paid coaches. So if maybe playing sport isn't your forte, but you want to coach, or even if you want to officiate or do any of the sort of marshalling, the admin around sports, clubs are looking for that. So it's a bit of both. There definitely is a reliance on, so the students run the club. However, how they do their coaching, it can be students, it can be external, it's up to them how they want to do that. But the opportunities will be there. And I think one important thing to mention is, so we have a coach education scheme. So if you come to this uni, you want to get qualified as a coach in whatever discipline it is, we offer subsidies for those courses. So essentially, you approach us with the course you want to do, maybe a level 1 in your relevant sport. We will pay for your qualification, and in return, you will volunteer with a club for a certain amount of hours throughout the year. So it's a really good way to actually, develop your own your professional sporting portfolio, get more involved in the sports, maybe in ways that aren't necessarily just playing. And, I did it. I got my level 1 a couple of years ago through the coaches scheme, and it's been really, really beneficial, both from a personal development point of view and also the fact that I can now help run the club that has sort of shaped my university experience. So definitely worth giving it a go.
Awesome stuff. A question for both of you. Someone's asked, can I create a sport or society if it's not already created?
I can start with society. Absolutely. So we know that every year the interests of students will change, and students want to create new groups based off their own interests. So we have, this year, for example, we have two, it's called affiliation windows, which is basically where you can come to the SU and be like, we want to create a new society. Now you have to have, there's certain requirements that you have to meet. It can't be a society that we already have. You have to have a certain level of interest from students, but that's all laid out on a form. And it's simply that you just have to fill out a form that comes for societies anyway, that comes to us, and then our executive committee, which is kind of like a very fancy committee that oversees societies, we'll have a look through all of your applications and then approve some new societies. This takes place twice a year, which means that every year we have lots of new societies. I can't actually remember how many new societies we've got this year. I feel it's about 17, 18 different groups that we've just affiliated for when you come to Freshers Week this year. So there's plenty of opportunities throughout your time to create a new society and leave a legacy as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's exactly the same principle for sport. Our affiliation window is slightly different, and I think I believe it's usually 30 people. But the logistics behind setting up a club, it's all outlined. We can help you out with that, but we're never going to say no off the bat, right? You know, we want to grow sports. We want to provide all the opportunities we can. And actually, I think this year we have 3 new clubs. So, paddle, Pilates, and oh my god, I can't remember the one off the top of my head. That's really bad. But we have. Baseball, that was it. Yes, baseball. So yeah, Pilates, paddle, and baseball. Those are our brand new sports this year. And so those are student groups who have come up to us and said, hey, we want to start this sport, and we've helped them work it out, and they're now affiliated for this coming year. So yeah, definitely possible, and it's one thing we can absolutely help you out with. I think one thing you mentioned the exec, to clarify. So there's a sport exec as well, and those committees help make a lot of those decisions on the affiliation, but they are student committees, so students get elected to those. So again, if you want to take it one step further and start actually representing the student body at the highest level, and actually making some of these very key decisions about the direction of sport, that is also an option. So really, like, what you can do within sport societies is like, it's limitless. It's limitless.
Awesome stuff. Someone has asked, where do they sign up to do a sport?
Okay, so in order to get the information about the clubs and to sign up, the first point of call, as I said, sports fair. Everything you need will be there. However, on the website, there will also be information. And the key things to know is to join SU Sports. There is an SU Sport membership, which is £35 this year, and that basically grants you access to as many of the sports as you want, and then each club, depending on the club, will have their own individual costs, and essentially that will all be highlighted on the website. You go to the website, you click on the sport you want to join. Probably, I assume it's the same for societies, and there'll be a big button that says join a sports club. That will take you through all the steps you need to do to pay, get signed up, get your membership sorted, and then you are part of the club. And then from there, it's basically you got to turn up, right? It is very simple to do.
From a society side, it's fairly similar. So you've got the sports fair, but we've also got the groups fair, which will be on a Thursday during Freshers Week, and also various opportunities throughout the year as well to learn about our societies. All you do is you pay your £3 societies area membership, and then you can join as many of those societies that you want as well. Most of those at no extra cost for societies. So yeah, plenty of ways to get involved. And very simple to sign up.
Yeah, I think one thing I will clarify. So that membership I mentioned, that is to join these sports clubs. However, we do have other programs. If you don't want to, if that £35 membership, you don't want to say join one or two specific clubs. You kind of want to do sports whenever. We have our Bath Active program, which is a free, completely free, no sign up required, no membership required. If you are a student at Bath, you qualify to take part in Bath Active. So all of that's on the website. We have all of that all over the Instagram. So there is also that option. That there is no sign. You just see the timetable, think, oh, I like that session. I'm going to turn up and give it a go. And then also the Team Bath offer a sports pass. Again, that's independent of us. That is something that the University Sports Department offer, which gives you access to facilities such as the pool, the running track, tennis courts for free in most cases. Some of them are costed just because they're in high demand. But again, that's another thing. You can go on their website. I think you should all get emails about it when you're opening. A few opening weeks, Team Bath are pretty good at sending those around. But again, if you can't find it, the website is the key place to look.
Lovely stuff. Okay. Our next question is, can postgraduates join a sports team?
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe this is the same for society, as you said with the question earlier. There is if you are a student at Bath, you are eligible for pretty much every single sports team. There is, to my knowledge, no reason why somewhere you're undergrad, postgrad, PGT, why you would not be able to join a sports team or a society for that matter. So, no, there is absolutely no barrier. Absolutely no barrier.
Awesome stuff. That's all of them from our previous Instagram questions. And here are some extra
Good job,
ones.
buddy.
So these ones will go through a little bit quicker.
Outstanding.
So our first question is the Taylor Swift Society real?
Yes, it is, and that came off as an idea of a student. Like we said, with all of our societies, they are student-led because the ideas have come from students. So a student came to us, they said they wanted Swift Sock, I think it's called, and now we have a Taylor Swift Society, and they're very active as well and very popular amongst our students.
Can confirm. Our next question is, can you explain awards season, like Blues and SU awards?
I'll cover Blues, you cover SU Awards.
Yeah,
Sound good? Amazing. Okay, Blues Awards, that is our sporting awards ceremonies. That's a once a year. We essentially want to recognise the achievements of the students who've taken part. So the first way is through the colours, ribbons and blues, which essentially are awards given to students who have participated in a competitive offer to represent the university. So I can't remember the exact criteria off the top of my head, but I think for a colour, you essentially need, you represented the university at a competitive level, usually a Bucks level or higher, for the duration of your university, your course. Beyond that, we then have a few different awards that people can be nominated for. So that can be everything from awards given to specific clubs to individuals who've done great work in developing their clubs and the offers and the sort of the maybe even the recreational and the inclusivity of sports. And that's down at the baths. We have a lovely big dinner, big award ceremony. It's all very snazzy. Everyone in their black tie, and it's a really good way to get recognised for the achievements you've made whilst competing for the university.
And then for our SU Awards, it's a really big ceremony every year that celebrates the incredible work of both our student leaders and our societies, from everything from the committees themselves to events they've put on in the year, whether that be a regular activity, a really impactful event, or something that's helped the local community. And it's a celebration of all of our groups, whether society, sports, diversity and support, media groups, and they're all invited if nominated to these awards. And the nominations come from students, so any student can put forward a nomination for a variety of categories which change every year. And then from that, we have a read through, and it's a really great chance to all come together near the end of the year to celebrate the fantastic work our student groups do.
Awesome stuff. Next we have, do you have chess?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
yes, we do. Yeah, we do. I think it was part of tabletop originally, but now it is a separate society. But yes, we do have chess society.
Yeah, we have tabletop gaming, which do quite a lot of different stuff as well. And from that, there was a subgroup, Lego Society, like a Lego subgroup. They've now become their own society.
Lego Society is crazy.
So lots of things change every year, but yes.
I might go to that,
Honestly, please.
I'm a bit of a fiend for a bit of Lego, I can't lie. Anyway.
Do check out our website for the most up-to-date list of societies.
For sure. Someone has asked, is the Boxing Society any good?
I don't box. I never box. However, the feedback I've had, absolutely. I mean, it's very popular. I think they get several hundred members each year, which is pretty good going for sport. They're one of our larger groups. So yes, we have. I guess it depends. I guess it depends what you're asking. If you're asking from a competitive point of view, are we good? Yes, absolutely. We have a very good record at the Fight Night and Bucks competitive level. If you're asking about is it good on a recreational side, absolutely. Again, it's one of the ones that has a massive recreational following. So, depending on which way the question you're answering, yes.
Awesome. Someone has asked, does a sport pass give you access to the gym?
So, no. So, essentially, the way it works is The sports pass, which is the free pass you can sign up for with Team Bath, that gives you access to book, I believe it is, off the top of my head, it is like the tennis courts, the running track, swimming pool, indoor tennis courts, and I think there are some other facilities. Those are kind of the main key areas. The gym itself is a separate enterprise, so they will again you should all get an email as part of your opening few weeks. You can sign into it. There is a student discount, however, you still will have to pay for it as it is a commercial enterprise. Some sports teams do get strength and conditioning as part of their program, so it could be that actually if you join, especially at the competitive and performance levels, that you may actually get strength and conditioning as part of the offer. But short answer, no, it is not included in the sports pass.
Okay. Someone has asked, can I have the duck?
No, he might. My duck. You can get your own though. On the SU shop, I want to say. Yes, SU shop, it's brand new. There are hoodies, there are ducks, the whole lot. Absolutely, you can get your own. But this one, mine. My duck.
Okay. Someone has asked, can you explain how tennis society works?
Again, I think it depends on which area you're thinking of. So, with the competitive side, my understanding is that there will be trials throughout the early stages of semester 1, where you will essentially compete against the other athletes to get a spot in the Bucks teams and the other competitive teams they offer. So what was the question again? Lost my train of thought.
How tennis society
Yes, how it works, of course, yes. So the competitive side, that's essentially how you get through to that part. Again, all the information you can find with them on their website, contact them directly, or at the sports fair. Remember, Wednesday sports fair, all the information's there. If you want to say about the competitive side, sorry, so this is a recreational side, they will be running sessions throughout the year. Again, all the information we get from them, and that's kind of pretty much the way all of our clubs work. Is competitive, you go through the trials, you've got to earn your place in those competitive spots. For the recreational side, it's very much just a pay your membership, turn up, play and have fun. So I think if you want the very specifics of how the club runs, that is a conversation to have with them at the sports fair, because I haven't memorised all 56 clubs, like how they operate off the top of my head, right? It's just not realistic. But definitely, it all, yeah. At the sports fair, you'll be able to find all the information you need to know.
Okay. Someone has asked, how much is a gym membership?
I need to think about it. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna say it because I do not know off the top of my head. I don't want to make something off the top. So I will have to find that one out for you. I'll go on the website. Absolutely.
Someone has asked, do you have to buy a new membership? I'll assume a sports membership every year.
Yes. So the way it works, it is £35 for the year, and so next academic year, you will have to rebuy the membership. That's the way it works. And what I will say, that is, to be honest, £35 for a year of sport, pretty good going.
Awesome. Someone has asked whether there is funding for people who can't afford membership.
So yes, so the aim, we've been working very hard to ensure that money is not a barrier to sport. From the point of view of sport, unfortunately, sport does cost a lot of money, and so the reason the sport membership is there is because we need to fund our sports. If you cannot afford the membership, there are things we can explore, but that's when I point you towards the Bath Active programs, which are designed to be completely free, right? There is no sign up, there is no cost, you turn up as and when you want, and those are offered across a lot. I think most of our sports teams do offer a Bath Active offer, as well as with the SU, we run our own SU Bath Active program. So specifically with the sports pass, unfortunately that is a case where it costs £35 to join the sports team, because that's how we fund the teams. However, we will ensure that money is not a barrier to being active and taking part in sport at the SU.